Hello, my name is Mr. Suma, aka I love Dr. Teachops, and this is Speedrun of Fallout Shelter, in which we open all rooms as fast as we can. So, the goal of this speedrun was to find most optimal route, and one of the things you want to do is turn off tips, screenshots, have a window mode so we can and have a cam zoom and cam scroll speed quite fast. Also, we're gonna use hotkeys like and A4, B for build and F4 for objectives or inspection window, which is closing a couple of times as you see afterwards. So one of the key to this route was to strip down all things that are necessary for opening all rooms, and as you see on the top of the screen there is only energy which is sufficient for anything and not food or water. So it's quite pessimistic and really unsympathetic run towards the world people. So the run is gonna start in a couple of minutes, and I believe it should start when you press the skip button when you firstly create the new world. One of the key features was to not pay attention for some things that you basically pay when you play originally, like have as lot as possible world um, lunchbox, and in our case it's have really long animation, so we don't need it. And also we put our people into the desert and to gain more caps, and it's also not really cool uh, because a lot of death claws coming if you open the vault, and they don't gain enough caps to build enough rooms. So we should gain about 35k of caps to build everything that we need, and we need 100 of people. So the way we're gonna skip all these things is just changing the time preferences in our windows, and we're gonna automatically gain the caps that we need, and we don't take the vault pack. And as you see, you when you skip the week you shouldn't close this window, so sometimes you need to close it automatically, and sometimes it just pop the new inspection window gonna pop up um, on the top of the others. And right now I'm building the, and as you can see I just missed two power generation, and I can't combine them. And basically you can, because I thought that this area under the vault right now is that you can build there, and actually you can. So you want to have three merge rooms of generators, one of water and one of food. And when you send the people to these rooms, they're gonna automatically run to it, so you can skip already to the next week. And you want to send people with their specialty ability, like the one they have more, which is agility and strength and something else for those three particular rooms, and that make them more happier. So to gain more money weekly we need to make them happier, and as you can see they're all weekly happiness percent is gonna grow. So like the top thing that you can do really early on is about 80% of the 80 caps for the happiness. Because to gain more I think you need to build a radio and make some other stuffs, but um, when we're gonna have 80 caps per day, that's when we're gonna start the counting for the 35k goal. And as you can see, you skip the date just by pressing strafe um, down and enter. This is making it much faster than clicking by mouse. And I will discover this later on the run, when um, you can manually close window as you see right now, or you can just press A4 and then switch to daily report, and it saves like a couple of frames, but it's like one of the most spammed things that you're gonna do on this run, so it makes sense. I used to do something like this, but now when you know this F4 key, you can just press it and go to this daily report automatically. Um, you need to around skip weeks around 70 times, uh, which is gonna give like in result around 40k, which you need to spend on building all the rooms. And mm, the first 10 minutes gonna be just this spamming of wicks. And the second part of the run is gonna be gaining 100 persons as fast as possible. So as I said, I used to run this just for a couple of days, and from first time I completed in 1 hour and 20 minutes, and in 40 minutes, and then just stripping all the unnecessary thing, you just get to the most optimal thing that is available, as I believe. So if you want to run this game, I believe the next step is gonna be to find maybe a more optimal way of gaining money faster. I tried just sending people to the desert, and it's not really optimal thing at the beginning, and also there are a lot of death calls is coming, and they have quite small level to gain like substantial amount of caps, so it's not really working. And right now I believe games thinks that we're still in tutorial mode because we don't complete like objectives, and it's not gonna spam like cockroaches or fire or anything like that for the whole run. And we didn't build anything until we have enough caps, so the game gonna think that we still like for 2 years of skipping, the game gonna think that we're still kind of newbie in this game, which is good for us. So in order to improve this run, I believe you need to at first just avoid misclicking, like closing unexpectedly windows, and avoid some lags. And you also want to run this on PC, because on tablets like on iPad, on other things, it's just really slow animation of loading between weekly skips, and it's just pain in the ass to run it on the iPad or other stuff. At the start of the game you always have those three people who have their a little less, some of the specialty for the room a little bit higher, no, quite higher than other people, and you always want to send them to the necessary rooms. We're coming to the end of the week's money spam, and we're gonna start to make quite disturbing and unsympathetic things to our world people. Like, we're gonna build 9 um, like living rooms, and we're gonna merge them. It's the most, I believe, optimal amount of those rooms, because we like spend only 3 energetic rooms in order to people to breed. The after 9 of living room is cost like around 100 and 1400 of caps, and it's probably, I think it can be like useful, because we have quite a lot of money at the first, but like weekly income of like income of people per skip is gonna be 9. Luckily, if we just collect the like arrange them perfectly, because as you know, you can't breed the relatives of those um, of world citizens. So at first I thought you can just send them to the desert, and actually it's quite okay that you send them, but there is a limit into sending, and when they die they still count as the like world citizens. But as you're gonna see, it's just gonna be quite a lot of people wandering around, and only like 9 couples who making all the population grow. And they gonna starve, and they gonna have quite bad radiation, but and they gonna be totally unhappy, but they gonna reach this 100 number quite fast. So this is quite disturbing to look at, but that's what's the fastest way to do this. So as an improvement to this run, also I believe they can maybe just make more rooms, and so the breeding gonna be quite faster. So as you see, we have 40k. It's gonna be fine for our needs. It's like too much, I believe, because it's like around 35, like approximately. So you want to upgrade 3 of them, and one of them double upgrade. So we're gonna have this 100 criterion meet, and we just send like 3 girls, 3 guys, and you get the idea of this thing. And accidentally it have like Halloween theme in one of the living rooms, which I was quite surprised to see. You need only 1 person per room, because when you skip the week, it's have enough amount of energy or like resources. We just skip this window of inspection just by clicking to the other side. And what's interesting, you can kind of make the skip faster when it says like loading zone. You just click on it, and it's automatically go to this window of weekly inspection. Each of the guys have a pair. You want to skip the week, so they go automatically into like breed mode, like pregnant mode, because each cycle have like 3 things. They like hold hands, and we just skip this till with 1 week, so they automatically like w- want to breed afterwards after this week. And then they, when these guys have this animation of like showing his that everything is gonna be great, then when you want to skip the week, so girl's gonna be automatically pregnant, and then you skip again and they already have a child after like couple of seconds of animation when it says that yeah it is. So you want to send children's of those couples to the other rooms. So fortunately we're gonna have like 9 person, 9 people income as um, per like cycle. The cycle is 3 weeks. At first they uh, going to like have sex, then they uh, become pregnant, and then they have to like, as you can see, then it's going to be like 2 because they just had sex and they automatically pregnant, and then but there is like kids. So it doesn't really work in actual life, as I believe. I not really tested quite a lot, but in World Shelter for some reason it works. So as you can see, we have like 34 uh, persons already, and we have enough energy, and I for some reason upgraded it. There is no actually need, and they not gonna die from radiation till I actually didn't have them die at all from the radiation, but I think they can. But in our speedrun, they're gonna survive because all they need to breed is, as you know, electricity, which is like the positive side of this run, this true nature of human. So when you're gonna have this 100 criteria meet, you're just gonna build the rooms, and we're gonna, I don't build it at first because it's more appropriate just to spam things which are similar. It's not that you're gonna skip the weeks and count the caps and automatically have people breed. It's not. I'm not. At first, they are not happy, so you're gonna have less caps. And secondly, um, you just want to make it quicker. You just do the similar things over and over, so you can it's get easier than just do multiple things at one time. So we're gonna build every room, we're gonna open it, so we're not gonna it's quite easy just to mess if you open all rooms to forget some of them. Well, they have increasement of size of amount of money that they need to build, so it's gonna be like quite cool thing to monitor. But you just want to open like 3 rooms, build them, and then open another 3 and build them. And you want to skip the oh, I believe it called Vault Manager or something like that, because it starts automatically quests that you can skip. So you want to do this, you want to build this last, so it's gonna be like a trigger for the end of time. And this run took me about 20 minutes, and I just counted by like video rate, so I'm not perfectly sure that it's the same as it was actually, but I think it's pretty close. And I cannot really count it by the time of Windows, I believe, because it skips a couple of seconds. And if you're gonna make a video of the run, some of the programs like this one, I just become really confused when you start your video in like 2017 and you end it in 2019, and it can basically screw up your video. So before you're gonna stop the recording, you want to put the time back to our century, to our year, and to the day when you start this video. So as you see, we just destroy rocks, and it takes about 3 elevators to build. Yeah, just start building. We open 3 things. And you just discovered when I made this run, just open 3 and just go with them. So this overseer's office is that you want to build last, and you need to have them quite optimized, so you don't need to build extra elevators because it's quite faster. The most like this thing you can really skip, and when the death claw comes or some fire, whenever you skip the wicked, still have this death claw problem going on, so you cannot really skip. But actually it doesn't matter, because even if they die, they still count as the person, but you can't really build, and it just disturbing, and you can't have breeding going on when the death claws or some problem is going on. It says just we have a problem in our office, so why should we breed right now? I'll have babies. And there is the end of the run. It's all rooms built, all rooms open, so it took 20 minutes, 35k, and 100 of people. Like 10 minutes for the caps, 10 minutes for the breeding, and the couple of minutes to build all this thing. So thanks again. I believe that you enjoyed this watch. Even the person who gonna moderate it, or maybe people who gonna look at later, can pick this route and maybe improve it if they want. So thanks a bunch, and good luck to your runs. I'm Mr. Soma, aka I love Dr. T Shops, which was quite amazing to find out that there is an actual guy and he also is speedrunner, which is quite a coincidence. Well, thanks again, and have a nice day.